Hello and welcome to YouTube channel HealthQ, the place where my mission is to motivate you to look at the brighter side of the hill. In previous video, I explained how a patient who is bedridden should start their exercise routine and you need a caregiver's help. Now, in today's video, I would be demonstrating what are the exercises that a stroke patient can do it on itself while he is bedridden. Doing these exercises will improve the motivation level of the patient, will increase self-awareness, will take the advantage of neuroplasticity principles and allow the healing or else the brain development to happen, and it will also prevent complication and encourages independent movement. So if you who are someone who is suffering from stroke or your loved one is suffering from stroke and is bedridden, these exercises are must do for him. So what are these exercises? Without wasting any due time, let's have a look. So the first exercise that we will do would be for the head and shoulder region. Definitely head also needs exercises and should be done. Now for a patient who is bedridden, you can make or else ask the patient to sit with support. You can just propel up or else raise the patient from the bed, and then you can encourage the patient to do nodding movements, which is up and down. If your patient who is suffering from stroke is not in a complete conscious state and is having lack of control, you can give some level of assistance with your own hand, and then you can make the patient do neck nodding movements. Or else you can keep a stuff, a spoon, a pen in front of the patient, and you can just ask a patient to follow or else track that pen or else a fingertip. So how it would be done? You can keep your finger in front of the patient and then you ask the patient to look up and down and then side to side. This encourages neck movement. Initiation of neck control or neck movement is very important because from there we actually originate or else initiate our other tasks or else other movements, especially of our hands. So doing neck movement from day one itself is also a very good and important thing. After that, you need to encourage your patient to do shoulder raise like this. Again, for this, make sure that you bring your patient on bed in sitting position, give some back support if required if he is losing the balance, and then ask your patient to just bring the shoulder towards your ear and then bring down. You might need to do this exercise by yourself and ask your patient or else your loved one to follow you. So the idea of the movement here is shoulder up and down. You can ask the patient to do for 5 to 10 repetitions depending on how much he or she is able to do, and then gradually increase or decrease the frequency. Next movement that you should encourage your patient to do is the shoulder raise. Now this exercise can be done either in sitting position or else in sleeping position. I'll demonstrate both of them. So start with first, consider this is the affected hand and this is the normal hand. So ask the patient to clasp the affected hand. Okay, so consider this is the affected and this hand is clasping, and then this hand will assist the lifting movement or lifting activity as much as possible, and then bring down like this. Ask the patient to do. Give ample amount of support on the back to encourage and prevent backward fall or else even sideways fall. So initially the patient would be just able to raise this much, but the idea is to increase the range of motion by repetitive practice. Now let's see how to do it in sleeping position. So for example, if your patient is sleeping straight, ask or else bring the affected hand first towards the tummy with other hand, then with other hand, which is the good hand, you will clasp make this hand straight and then raise it up backwards as much as he can and then bring it down. Now, similarly, with the hand clasped, we will do hand outward movement and inward movement. How to do it? Consider this is the affected hand. Clasp this hand and raise this hand towards the affected side on the sideward direction as much as possible and then bring it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then bring down. Similarly, we have to do it on the other side. So move out. As you can see, this hand is not moving at all. It's completely taking the support of other hand. 2, 3, 4, and 5. This makes the next exercise. And now moving further, we will do exercise for elbow. For that as well, clasp the hand, raise the elbow as much as possible till the mouth, and then raise or straighten this hand and rotate this hand outwards and make it straight this way. Again, rotate the hand. This rotation component is something which is mostly missing in stroke or gets affected in stroke due to spasticity. This can be prevented by doing this rotational activity or else rotational movement. 2, 3, 4, and now moving to the hand or else finger movements and wrist movements. Again, we are going to clasp the hand this way and then we are going to bend the wrist as much as possible up and down, keeping the hand on a table or else on the lap. The idea here is to keep the hand outward rotated. It should not be this way but this way, and then we should do the bending activity. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Relax. My hands are seen, no? Yeah. And then for the finger movements, again, rotate the hand, place it on the lap of the patient itself, and then stroke the hand with the other and stroke the back side of the palm with other hand. And then encourage lifting movements of finger by just giving support to these fingers and raising these fingers up as much as possible and down. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Same way, you can do it for thumb with the hand. Raise the thumb as much as possible and down. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So these were the activity for hands. Now let's move on to the activity of low back or else pelvic region. It's simple. It was also used in the previous video, but here the patient will do it independently because he has improved and now slight amount of self slight amount of self-control has come. So for that, again, consider your patient is lying down this way. Bend both the legs. You might need to give some assistance to the patient to bend the other leg. Ask the patient to keep the hands on side, and then encourage the patient to lift his tummy or his pelvis as much as possible, and then come down. Raise pelvis up as much as possible, and then come down. Raise up, down, up, down. You can do this for 5 to 10 repetitions. The next activity is bending or moving the legs from side to side. While this would not be that easy for the patient, he might need some assistance. So you need to assist the patient with the hand, the good hand. So the patient need to assist himself with good hand. So bending down one side, then raising up, and then bending down, and then raising up again. Bend down, and then raise up. This is spinal twisting exercise. Now moving to the leg exercise. For this, place the good leg's foot behind patient's leg, and then push this leg to make it straight. This way. Now again, to bend this leg, patient will need the help of the good hand. He can hold his pocket or else the clothes, and then he can clasp this good leg here, and he can pull the leg upward in this way. After pulling the cloth, he can just push further. He can just further push the leg with the hand in this way and encourage the movement. Initially, this would be difficult for the patient, but with daily practice, this will become more smoother and smoother. So the idea is to encourage the dragging movement. But the thing to note here is this would only be possible where a patient has developed slight amount of control of movement in the leg. So down, then this leg comes up, and start pushing and pulling the leg up with the hand via clothes, and then raising up. So this makes the next exercise. Then for other exercise, which is for ankle and toe, the patient can be encouraged to just lie down in this way and then tap the toes and ankle up and down in rhythmic pattern. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So friends, these were some simple exercises that a patient suffering from stroke who has partially or is very slightly recovered and is gaining movement but is still bedridden can do. I hope you found this video helpful. If yes, make sure to like this video, share this video with your friends and family members, and do not forget to subscribe to HealthQ channel. I'll see you in another video. Thank you.